Hello, Spirit family. This is Shannon from Great Spirit Farm. Wanted to talk to you today about our AyaDose. This is our ayahuasca microdose, and give you some tips and tricks and share some stories about how this is helping some of our church members as well as people who subscribe and use this on a regular basis. So this is an ayahuasca microdose. It only has the ayahuasca vine, the banisteropsis caapi, which is a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. It's also a form of antidepressant, anti-anxiety. It does not have the DMT from the chacruna plant in it, so it's 100% legal. There's no worry about having a psychoactive experience. You're not going to trip from using this as directly. You can carry it in your travel bag, your carry-on bag, on the airplane. It's totally legal. I've never even been asked about it. And you can take it every day. So if you're familiar with microdosing, you may know that with psilocybin or LSD or other psychedelic microdosing protocols, you do have to take 2 to 4 days off in between, otherwise the body builds a tolerance. And that's one of the beautiful things about this microdose, is you don't have to take days off. So when microdosing psilocybin, I found it kind of hard to remember to stay in a good practice and a habit. So with this, you can put it next to your morning beverage in the morning, your coffee, your tea, your vitamins, your supplements, whatever your morning habit is, and just pop this under your tongue and hold it in your mouth for a few seconds. Set your intention first, and then go about your day and have a wonderful day. So you can do this every day, and the more you take it, the more sensitive you become to it, so the less that you actually need in that. So I'm just going to talk to you about how to take this, and this video is for educational purposes. We don't encourage or condone the use of any illegal substances, even though this is 100% legal. This is for harm reduction and just to help people understand how to take our microdose tincture. So shake it up. We're going to set our intention in it. So for some people, their intention is to be happy. We have a lot of people who take this to deal with depression, and it's very effective in helping to raise people's mood. It also helps to bring a sense of calm for people. We are not trying to say that this diagnoses, cures, or treats or prevents any disease, but this is, from our experience anecdotally, what people are using this for is as an antidepressant, as an anti-anxiety, in a way to not have to take pharmaceutical medications that you would then need to be on for a while and then have a weaning protocol. So you can take this, you can not take it, you don't have to take days off in between, and you don't have to worry about weaning off of it. So first, set your intention, whether it's to be happy, to have less anxiety, more peace. Some people's intention is to be able to remember their dreams and to learn from their subconscious dream state. For some people, it's about creativity and focus. So it can be a really powerful enhancer of accessing flow states, getting into a creative space, whether you're trying to create something new or even just focusing for class or focusing while you're at work. And other people also take it for anti-inflammatory, for pain control. And people also take it as a neuroregenerative. It's also neurogenesis, and helps to rewire new habits and rewire new ways of thinking for your mind. So whatever your intention is, set your intention. This is a beautiful master plant, so treat it with reverence and a sacred attitude, and the spirit of this plant is feminine. She will return that reverence and that beauty to you. Give it a good shake. You're going to open it up, and the instructions say to take 1 to 3 dropperfuls. So a dropperful is about 1.5 inches up the dropper. Hold it under your tongue. For sensitive people, you're going to take 1 dropperful. For people who may need a little bit bigger gun, take 3. And if you don't notice anything the first time you take it, then take another dropperful the next day. So if you start with 3, which is what we give out as a sample at the conferences that we attend, we have people try 3, and we have great results from people starting with 3. If you don't feel anything from 3, then the next day take 4. And then if you don't feel anything, the next day take 5. So you are looking for a perceptible experience, whereas with psilocybin or LSD, you're looking for sub-perceptual, because if it's perceptual, that means you're tripping at work or you're tripping while you're driving, and that's not what we want. But because ayahuasca doesn't create a hallucinogenic effect, you can take this whole bottle and go to work. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you do that because it will have a mind-altering experience for you, and that's best done while you're at home or in a quiet, contemplative space. But for taking this and driving, going to work, you can definitely take this as directed. And so keep taking a little more until you have an experience that you perceive. And that experience is still going to be very subtle. It's not going to be like a fireworks show as long as you increase it by 1 dropper full each day. The experience that you're looking for, or that people tell us that they feel, is a feeling of calm, a feeling of peace, a feeling of bliss or joy, happiness. Some people say it feels like a warm hug from grandma. You're also going to notice what some people call being unfuckable with. So if you know that you're going to have an interaction with somebody that challenges you, you could take maybe a double dose of this. And I call it like being like Neo. You're just like dodging bullets. I'm like, okay, they're going to shoot whatever they want at me, and I'm going to just dodge this bullet very easily. So that's the main thing that it's used for. But we also have people use it to access their subconscious space through dream work. It's really great to take before meditation, before journaling. So those are some of the things that you would create as your intention and why people take it. We have had some really beautiful stories that I'll share with you from people who have taken this sample at a conference. One of the ones that I am just still so moved by was at the Psychedelic Science Conference in 2023. It was in Denver, run by MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies. If you have not checked out their website, I highly recommend that. They're a wonderful group doing great research across all disciplines. maps.org. And this was a week-long conference, and 3 days of that week we had exhibitions. So on the first day we had a woman come up to us. She tried the sample, came back shortly after that, was blown away, and she said, I need to get a bottle. And then at the last day of the exhibition, 3 days later, she came up to us, tears in her eyes, and she was so moved. My husband Travis and I were equally moved, and she said, I needed to tell you, I've been on Xanax for 10 years, every single day for 10 years. I can't function in my normal life without it. And I've been at this conference where there was 12,500 people, and I haven't needed Xanax at all. I've just been taking the AyaDose microdose, and she felt really great. And she just felt so peaceful and calm. And so that is a really beautiful example of how it helps people with anxiety. We have a lot of our church members who want to come for ceremony who can't be on antidepressants with our sacrament. And so with their doctor's support, they will wean off of the antidepressant while slowly increasing the AyaDose microdose tincture. And they don't have the brain zaps, they don't have the withdrawal symptoms from weaning off of the antidepressant, and they're able to take that the AyaDose straight up into the ceremony without those feelings of depression. Another thing that's really beautiful is this isn't going to increase symptoms of suicide or the feeling of suicide, which a lot of times antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds can actually make people feel worse. We had a guy at another conference. He was in a wheelchair, he was paraplegic, and he came and tried the sample, came back about an hour later and said that this was the first time in years that he had not been in pain, and he bought several bottles. And so it does have an anti-inflammatory component to it, and that was another really beautiful story. We have numerous stories of people who use this for ketamine preparation and integration to help them with their integration phase. Obviously, with before and after ayahuasca ceremonies, this can be a really great way to stay connected to the spirit of the plant and to support you in implementing the pieces of integration that are a part of your process, because we can go and learn all these things. You could even take the tincture, sit down and have a beautiful insight, write it in your journal, close the book, go on with life. If you don't make that change and keep that change alive, there's not much going to happen there. So that's one of the things that the tincture does do, is it helps to keep that BDNF, the brain-derived neuroplasticity factor, keeps your brain plastic and malleable and open to learning new things and open to change and habit change and transformation. So we look at the default mode network in our mind. We have very set pathways that our brain operates that develops over time, and thinking outside the box is literally creating a new pathway, opening up a new way of thinking inside your mind, which is what ayahuasca can do. And that's one of the things that it's so beautiful for, as far as helping with creativity and focus, is opening up those neural pathways. So I could go on about the science, but just really wanted you all to have an idea of what people are experiencing with the AyaDose microdose tincture. And now I'll tell you a little bit about how it's made. So my husband and I make this with our own two hands. We harvest this vine from a local vine here in Florida that's over 25 years old. It's overgrowing, it's invasive in the place that it's planted, and so we are offering a service by keeping this vine trimmed. So it's local, it's locally harvested, it's sustainably harvested. We bring great prayer and reverence to the process. We always start the harvest with a prayer. We play the highest vibrational medicine music while we are harvesting the vine. And then the same thing throughout the processing experience. We are singing into this medicine just like we would our sacrament that we serve in our ceremonies. We are praying into it. We are intending that those who partake in this beautiful microdosing experience, that they receive exactly what they need, that they are guided, that they are feeling lighter, that they're living lighter, that they are connected to their divine heart, their divine self, that they are released from the burdens of everyday life, as far as feeling depressed and anxious, and that they're feeling more empowered in their body and in their mind, their heart, and their soul. These are the prayers that we're singing into this the entire time that we're making this medicine, this sacrament for you. We also believe that this is the strongest ayahuasca microdose tincture on the market because we make it ourselves. We pack a lot of medicine into each batch, and I don't know of any other batch out there that's as strong as ours. We do have an alcohol extract and we have a glycerin extract for those who don't want alcohol. I love the taste of the glycerin. Has a little bit of an apple cider vinegar flavor as well. It's just really, really tasty. So either way, you're going to get a really beautiful product that will absolutely transform your life when used as directed. Some people ask me, okay, so what would happen if I went home and drank the whole bottle? So that is possible. You're not going to have a psychedelic experience per se, but you absolutely will feel something happening within your system, and you will feel your intuition, your mind, your heart connect in a way that is not an everyday lived experience. So we have done this here. We wanted to know what would happen if somebody drank the whole bottle. I would not recommend driving. You're not going to have hallucinations or visions or visuals if you were to drive, but I just feel like that would not be an appropriate use of the sacrament. So if you did want to use it more as a macrodose, it could be a very beautiful experience. So that would entail setting prayer, holding, creating your setting, your mindset. What is your intention behind using this sacrament? What is your setting? Are you going to be home alone in a quiet space, or are your neighbors expected to come over? Like, you don't want to do this in a setting where you're going to be distracted or disturbed, or there's going to be loud noises or people in the space that you don't feel comfortable and safe around. So at home in your bedroom, on the couch with your journal and a wonderful glass of water and maybe an eye mask so that you can really go inward. This is a way to have a mini ceremony of sorts to really uncover any areas where you might be having blockages or feel stuck, or get insight into the deeper aspects of why we do what we do or why we struggle with where we struggle. This is a way that you can do this on your own at home in a legal and safe way. If you are on antidepressants or any kind of psychotropic, please consult with your physician before taking this. That said, it is a reversible inhibitor of monoamine oxidase A. It's not a true MAOI, and by the fact that it's reversible, what that means is that if your body reaches a certain threshold, it's going to no longer absorb beyond that threshold. So there, in theory, isn't a toxic level of this. But if you are taking any kind of antidepressant or psychotropic medication, I would not take it as a macro dose. I would continue to take it as a microdose. Again, the 1 to 3 dropperfuls, and then increasing by a dropperful each day until you feel the benefits of it. And then talk with your doctor about possibly weaning off the psychotropic. And then once you have that clear out of your system, you could take this as a mini or a macro quiet ceremony at home. So the results are profound. We've had this on the market for almost 10 years now. We were the first to bring it to market, and we feel like it's been a really divinely guided process for us, and all the proceeds of our AyaDose tincture go right back into our nonprofit Great Spirit Farm. We are a 501c3 church. We don't take any kind of compensation or paycheck from our ceremonies, and when you purchase this, you are supporting our church and helping us do the good work of helping offer scholarships to veterans, to BIPOC individuals, to people who don't have the means to come and sit in a ceremony. So this is a way that we help make this more accessible to all the people who need this beautiful sacrament and to connect to their innate divinity. So you can find this on our website at ayadose.com, AYADOSE.com, or you can find it on our church website at greatspiritfarm.org. And please reach out, leave us a comment, let us know if you have any questions, and we would love to hear from you and support you in your healing journey. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and make it an AyaDose day.